If a man was to describe himself, he could say that he is easygoing and tolerant and laid back. And along with this, he could find that he often feels flat and depressed. He may often allow other people to walk over him and end up saying yes instead of no. And because of this, he is often going to feel violated and he could feel frustrated. But what he may find is that he rarely gets angry. And due to how he is treated, he will need to get angry, should get angry, because this will allow him to do something about what is going on. And when it comes to the people in his life, some of them could often get angry and they could be seen as having anger problems. And he could end up judging these people as being out of control and having issues. But although he will label them or can label them in this way, most likely he is not much different. On the surface, he won't get angry or rarely will get angry. And so he can appear to be nothing like these people. But deep down, he can be carrying a lot of anger. But the difference is that although these people will express their anger, he will typically be out of touch with his own anger. And so he won't express his anger. And in order for him to no longer feel flat or depressed, he will need to connect to his anger, to his aggression, because this will allow him to feel more alive and to have a greater zest for life and to be able to protect himself. Because his aggression is not bad. It can be used, of course, in a very destructive manner, as can anger, but it will be there when it's used in a positive way to allow him to embrace life and to stand up for himself, to take action, to be assertive. And as to why he would not be connected to his anger and would therefore allow other people to walk over him, it can be due to what took place during his childhood years. So this may have been a time when he was physically and verbally abused by his father, and through being treated in this way, he would have been forced to disconnect from his aggression, to lose touch with his anger, his rage and his hate. Because if he had expressed these things, it would have caused him to be harmed even more. And disconnecting from this part of him would also have been a way for him to handle this stage of his life, because he would not have been able to fight back. And he would not have been able to leave this environment completely. And so he had to disconnect from his feelings to be able to handle this stage of his life. Now, this, of course, wouldn't have changed what happened, but it would have allowed him to handle what was going on and to survive. And through being harmed year after year for many years, naturally he would have experienced a lot of anger and rage and hate. And he would have been greatly wounded by the person who was supposed to love and protect him and to keep him safe, to show him guidance. And many years will have passed since this stage of his life, but all this pain and all the arousal in his nervous system is still going to be there. So he would have shut down as a child, and now that he is an adult, he will continue to be in this shut down state, and he will believe that if he expresses how he feels, he will end up being harmed or isolated, and then his life will come to an end. And as I said, as he would have been harmed year after year on a regular basis, he will have a lot of pain within him. So if he was to end up getting in touch with his anger and his rage, he could end up exploding. And part of him could believe that if he was to do this, he would end up causing a lot of harm and damage. And so if you're a man and you can relate to this, you can see that you have disconnected from your aggression and all the feelings that are associated with that. So your rage and anger and hate. then you may need to reach out for external support, because along with these feelings there will be or should I say, along with these harder feelings, there will be the softer ones. So underneath the anger, the rage and the hate, or even above it, can be the helplessness, worthlessness, shame, and a deep sense of vulnerability. And so you will need to work through both layers, because although this is how you would have responded for someone else, their early years may have been slightly different, they can be controlled by their anger, by their rage, and then under this will be their softer feelings. But for you, you can be more in touch with your softer feelings, and it can be your harder feelings that have been pushed out of your awareness, your conscious awareness. So if you can relate to this, please reach out for the assistance that you need to gradually become a more integrated and empowered human being. If you'd like to find out more about the services that I offer, please go to www.oliverjrcooper.co.uk or email me at info@oliverjrcooper.co.uk, and I'm looking forward to assisting you on your journey.